Thank you, Annika. Morning, vapors, and the world in general. I'm having great sport. I'm having really great fun with the Avocado 24 and the iJoy combo. Is it the iJoy? Yes, I think it is the iJoy. Let's have a check here. It is the Combo RDTA by iJoy, and it's an amazing tank. It really is. It's a very good tank. The conductivity in this tank is spot on, never a problem. No hissing. It's lovely. It's a lovely tank. Of all the tanks on the market, I dare say there's better ones which I haven't discovered yet, but my favourites, I have three. The Avocado 24, top of the list. It's very easy to build on, and my wicking method suits that tank to perfection and never have an issue whatsoever. The combo is just a joy to use, very easy to build on. I have a couple of issues with the screws when I'm tightening down. It's not major, but it's a bit of a niggle. But apart from that, it's a superb tank. And then there's the iJoy Limitless Plus, and another superb tank. Next up, I'm going to get my hands on the original, is it? The iJoy original. I can't remember what it's called exactly, but the classic, yeah. So I want to get my hands on the classic because I've never used the build deck which they've got on there, which is it's a postless deck. I've never used one of those before, but from all accounts, it's a very good deck. So yeah. So I want to get my hands on one of those. Now, I don't go into drippers at all, drip tanks, you know, specially designed dripper tanks. I prefer the Jenny style tanks, you know, it's essentially a lazy man's dripper. That's what it is. But anyway, so that's the tanks that I like to use. As for e-liquid, I'm on, at the moment I'm doing Lemon 11 by, I'll just give you the name of the company, it's a lot easier. Now where is it? SVC Labs Limited, and they are in Ingleby House, and that is Crowhurst Road, Brighton, so it's UK. And they do the Cheap Thrills, yeah, it's called the Cheap Thrills Juice Company, and that is their website actually, so it's cheapthrillsjuice.co. So go onto their website and check out their juices. They are superb, really good. The lemon in this, I would say, is a top-notch lemon. The VG and the PG they use in this is top notch, and they use the same PG and VG in their Cheap Thrills Glory Glaze, which is a donut and blueberry concoction, which is a very nice juice. You should check them out. Very good juices. And I'm also doing Pony and Penguin by a Spanish company called The Arc, and so not only are the Spanish good for rocks, a little bit of controversy there, they also make very good e-liquid. So hats off to the Spanish. Anyway, so that's the Penguin and Pony by The Arc, and it's very good, and it's a 60 VG 40 PG mix, but it vapes like a 80-20, and it's very good, and the flavour is just absolutely astonishing. I think it's the flavour is increased because of the fact that it's a higher PG. The throat hit is absolutely smooth, there's no harshness, there's no dryness, it's not sandy at all, you know, it's a very, very refreshing. Well, it's refreshing. And so yes, so we have the Miami Drip Club, Lemon 11, the Pony, the Penguin, and it's all good, it's all good. So anyway, what coils am I using? In the 24, in the Avocado 24, I have my own concoction, which I call the, well, it's not a concoction, it's something I threw together, and when I was building it, it looked like a Helter Skelter, so that's what I call it. It's called the Helter Skelter coil. And she's very angry. And this gets 90 watts at 0.27. And she vapes like this. Massive flavour, massive flavour, massive clouds. Now this is the Pony, oh no, this is the Penguin. This is a 60-40, and that just goes to show you the vapor production of this Spanish e-liquid. You can see it does vape like an 80-20, and it's the flavour though is just, oh, it's good. It's a very good all day vape. So anyway, so they are the Helter Skelter coils, which is essentially it's a micro Clapton, 32-36 gauge micro Clapton, which is nichrome. That's Claptoned onto one strand of 26 gauge. Then I get one strand of 28 gauge, and I Clapton that onto that strand of wire. So you've got essentially it's essentially 3 Claptons onto a single 26 gauge wire. Okay, and it's amazing. It really is. It's really nice. It's a difficult build. The hardest part of the build is getting the 28 gauge to sit on that wire nicely and evenly and all the way along. Because you've got to apply a lot of pressure. You've got to really hold on tight to this 28 gauge, get it onto that 26 gauge, because it's quite a heavy wire. And what you will find is that it'll break off at the chuck roughly 3 times during the process. And when you hear it starting to break, stop and take it out the chuck, trim a bit off, put it back in the chuck, tighten it down, and carry on. Because if you don't, it's going to snap and it's going to decore a section of wire, and you'll find you will not be able to recore that section of wire. You won't be able to do it, so you'll lose quite a lot of wire, and you don't want to do that because you spent so much time doing the micro Clapton and everything else. And so just keep your ears open when you're doing this build, and it looks lovely, and it performs like you can see. There's no spit back in the mouth whatsoever, nothing. In the combo, I have a Ghost Vapor Poltergeist coil, jeweled, and they're 4 amps each, and they're ohm and out at 0.19. And I got this one at 100 watts, and it's unregulated. I've got 2 Sony VTC5s in here, and this is the Dovpo Twisted Messes 150 watt. It's been customized 4 times now. I keep dropping the swining thing. I dropped it again. So yeah, this is my little toy which I play with, you know, to rebuild and, you know, do a bit of you know, customization and whatever, you know, putting bits of metal on here so the tank will sit flush. And so this is what it used to look like, and this is what it looks like now. Yeah, so I got a bit of green in there, a bit of red, and you know, different colors. You know, when you polish it up, you know, they show more. And yeah, but the chip is American made, and it is superb. And they've ripped off the if you can see, oh, I'll show you on this one, it's easier. They've ripped off the DNA board. You can see that it's very similar to the DNA board. Accuracy is up there. Yeah, it's an accurate board. If from 0.09 up to 0.30, you can hit 150 watts with this, not a bother, and it does give you the 150 watts, and no bother whatsoever. So I got this one. It's a 0.19. It's 100 watts, and I have some very gunky wicks at this stage. They've been in quite a long time, and this is Fiber Freaks, and I've wicked it down to the bottom, as you can see, like I wick all my Jenny style tanks. And this is how she performs. As you can hear, there's no spit back in the mouth, no volcanic eruptions, and it's just sublime. It really is. The flavour is just really good flavour. And in this one I've got the Pony, which tastes like the Carnival, the Wick Liquor Carnival, and it's very nice juice. If I want to just add a bit of, because the Carnival, you know, is tartish slightly, I get some of this Glory Glaze, which is a donut. There's not much left in this one. I can just paint across the top of these coils, add a bit more flavour into there. And we have it's like a donut, lads. It's like it's a seriously good donut. It really is really good. And it's just like you've just taken a fresh donut, just freshly baked. Well, freshly, whatever, they deep fry them, don't they? And and it's still hot and it's full of jam, whatever, and you take a bite, and this is exactly what this tastes like. So if you're a donut lovers out there, the Glory Glaze by SVC, SVC Labs, and so the Glory Glaze by the Cheap Thrills Juice Company, superb, like I said. So anyway, so that's the coils and the juice and the mods dealt with, and let's get a bit into the TPD. Now, I was made a suggestion that advanced vapor should be in a total different category altogether than the newbie vapors who are using the egos, you know, the pen style devices, you know, which aren't very good. You know, it helps people quit smoking, and the people who stay on these and don't do anything else, because there's a lot of them, trust me, and they should be in a totally different category altogether than the advanced vapor, because the advanced vapor, people like us who are using high performance mods and specialist tanks, and then we're building our own coils, we've taken it to a whole different level. We've taken it to the hobby stage where we're reducing our nicotine right down to virtually zero. So we're on 0.3 milligrams. Most of us are on 0.3. Some people will dance around between 0.3 and 0.6, which I do sometimes if I cannot get any 0.3 milligrams in the juice that I'm looking for. So I'll be dancing between the 0.3 and 0.6. But I don't feel like I'm addicted to anything. It's more psychological. I think it's just having that safety barrier in your mind, where you feel that you need that nicotine, but you really don't. Because I can remember recently I had a 60ml bottle of e-juice, and I didn't read the front of it properly, and it was actually zero nicotine, but I didn't even know. I'd been vaping this stuff for a week and didn't even know it was a zero nicotine. So there you go. So a lot of it is psychological. But saying that, we should be in a totally different category, because as you can see, these do not look like cigarettes. They do not perform like cigarettes. We don't use them like cigarettes. You don't light a cigarette and do this. You light a cigarette and you take puffs. And not only that, with a cigarette, you can't do anything until the cigarette is finished. It's like with these, you can just have a vape and then get on with your job. Just one single vape and away you go. With a cigarette, you gotta light it, you gotta smoke it, and then it gets down to the point where you're satisfied or whatever, and then you can get back to your business smelling of cigarettes. Well, we have taken it to an all new level, and we should be in a total different category to the newbies. We should be treated as hobbyists, and like the point I'm making, these do not resemble cigarettes in any shape or form, and should not be taxed or restricted or regulated in such a way that they are actually compared to tobacco products, which they are clearly not. And another thing, as we all know, these aren't going to kill you like cigarettes are. So it's food for thought. It's like the advanced vaping community is one of the greatest communities ever come into existence, and it happened. Something happened. Nobody can actually explain what happened, but the vaping community, the movement or whatever, just took off, and it's solid, and it's one of the greatest movements. And for people who were desperate to quit smoking and could find no other way, and then it was just a natural transition from cigarettes to vaping community for a lot of people. And it's remarkable, it really is, because who would have thought that we would be here today discussing discussing vaping. Who would have thought it in a million years? Because if you go back, say 10 years ago, before vaping really took off, there was no community out there whatsoever, and it just seemed to spring up overnight. And then the reviewers on the YouTube, Rip Trippers, and then the rest of them came along, and they influenced more and more people. And then you had the coil builders, the real good coil builders who were on Instagram, and then they was setting up their YouTube channels and inspiring even more people. And now when you go onto Instagram to look at some of the coils which are being built, you'd say a lot of these coils, the pictures alone should be hung up in a gallery, because it's sheer art. It really is. It's something really special about the entire vaping community, and I think that should be what is it? Acknowledged. It should be acknowledged by everyone. Even our healthcare professionals should acknowledge the fact that vaping has been taken to a whole new level, and that we are a community, and that we should have a special protection status. And anyway, they are my thoughts on that side of the vaping community. I'd like to hear your comments, read your comments, and see if I'm making a salient point. Anyway, I'm going to call it a day there because I'm supposed to be busy. Anyway, all the best. Bye.